All right. Of course, in this day and age, with the emergence of social media, online dating, things like that, the whole landscape of dating has pretty much changed from when you and I were young
Yeah.
whippersnappers. So we figured we would come on and lay out some of the biggest issues and give some solutions
Yeah.
because we are a solution based podcast.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Where do we start? We start. Number one on the list of the issues and the pains of modern dating,
Okay.
digital overload. All right. With the
Okay.
rise of dating apps and social media, there's a constant pressure to present an idealized version of oneself, leading to anxiety and self-esteem issues.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
Interesting. That is interesting. Having my formative years pre-social media, I could kind of see the curtain. I could see behind the curtain. I could see what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is all you know and you spent you know, your better days on social media, yeah, you have to fake the funk. You gotta put a front on. It's always gotta be. But where it sounds like a con, like a con, I think it's a pro almost. I think social media helps you put your best foot forward. You show the best part of you, you know?
Is it real though?
If it's you, even if it's you for a little while, it's still you. Like, yo, listen, even if the bottles came to the section that one night, it still happened, you know? Or Shorty got her makeup done and she looked nice and she went out. It's still what she would look like with makeup. So it
Mm-hmm.
is you. It's a snapshot of you. And I think that people have to understand that. I think it's not really for the person using it. I think it's more for the person to understand that the person who's seeing it, just because that person portrays that he's doing these things or she's doing these things, doesn't mean this is who that person is. You have to really try to get to know that person,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think us being out, you know, us understanding social media, we just kind of know like it's a snapshot, like it's a shared picture album.
I get it. Do you think it's too much though? Like too many platforms, too many social media platforms, too many dating apps, too many options
I've
for.
never overloaded. I've never had a lot of. I still never had a Facebook account. I have an Instagram. I have a Twitter that I don't have to log in for.
Mm-hmm.
I opened up a TikTok, but I'm never on it, and that's about it. You know, I mean, I don't know if you consider YouTube social media, but you know, well, I don't.
Well, all
I
right.
could
Not.
imagine. I could imagine if you have a lot of footprints on
Mm-hmm.
different social media sites, I feel like it could be a lot, and you have to juggle things, and you have to juggle certain things, and dating apps as well.
I
It could be a lot.
I believe I understand where they were coming from when
Yeah.
they went this direction, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you got to think about it like this, right?
Yeah.
No disrespect to anybody, but I think it was supposed to be like a lane for like nerds in a sense, people that
Mhm.
were not outside, that had trouble communicating with the opposite sex face to face,
Yeah.
right? It creates a barrier, and you know, people that make these apps, coders and shit like that, those are your, probably not the most socially um out there people. A lot of introverts and shit like that. Like some kind of nerdy people, right? So they probably figured, all right, well, we do this, it's easier for us to connect with people, like-minded people, to find love, find, social groups and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think at first it initially worked, but one thing people didn't realize is that people that are social in real life are going to be the most social on social media also. It's not like somebody who's social in real life is going to be like,
That's not true.
I
That's not true because I consider myself social in real life, but on social media I'm a ghost.
okay. But that may be you, but do you think that there's somebody who's an introvert in real life and then like super social on social media?
I don't know
I don't think so.
because like if they diagnose themselves as an introvert, they already lost. If someone comes and tells you I'm an introvert, then you
I'm
not
using a term.
okay.
I'm
All
not,
right, okay,
I'm
all
just
right, all
saying.
right, all right. Okay.
I'm putting people into a group.
Someone who's so I don't really see someone who really not comfortable having a conversation with somebody, but then being a whole social butterfly on like.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You think that can happen?
No, I don't think that could happen.
Okay, all right.
I think like, all right, there are people like you that like, yo, I'm social in real life, but I don't really, I don't mess with social media, right?
Yeah.
But the people that are the most social on social media are social in real life. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
all right.
people that are introverts in real life, they may be a bit more social, but they're not, they're the life of the party on Instagram, on Facebook, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I get it.
when it comes down to dating and meeting people, you're still going to be outpaced the same way you're going to be outpaced as somebody who's non-social.
Right.
You're still going to get beat out by that guy or girl that's already out there. That's really social anyway.
Yeah.
So, I think that's where we're at now, where the same,
well, it's like an antenna. You remember back in the day, like when free cable, we used to have to hook the antenna up to the back of the TV to broadcast to get like a better signal. It's an antenna. Like social media, if you're good at it, you can send your broadcast out to different people, to more people.
Absolutely.
For them to see that you're cool or you with it. So I guess if we were to help somebody and give them some advice, before that, I don't know why my brain works in like Chappelle skits or like Lemon Call skits, but I'm thinking about like, all right, so I've never had a dating site login or like
a profile.
Or like a profile.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about this, I'm just thinking like, how long is too long to be on a dating site until you look desperate? Like, could you really be on like a dating site for like 5 years and really just be like, I'm just here, like I'm just that person?
I think it looks bad, yo.
It would look crazy, right?
It looks
so
bad.
What's the shelf life that you could be on a dating site? Like, what do you give it? Like 2 years? Like a year?
I would say a year.
Yeah.
I would say a year.
Because at that point, you're the one that nobody's choosing, right? And that's sad. Like,
exactly.
Shout out to whoever's still on there. Listen, don't give up. I'm not telling you to give up, but you look crazy.
This is no. This is crazy. This is a word of advice. What you have to do is you have to refresh.
You got to refresh.
You got to refresh. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
A new name.
A new username. A new
identity.
A new photos. New photos, a new look. You understand what I'm saying?
A whole new shit.
So,
whole new shit.
You could, like, if we were putting a car up for sale and we saw that it was getting no hits at all,
gotcha.
Like, all right, might need a paint job, might need some, a little bit of a revamping of the description.
Gotcha.
He might have to lower the price a little bit, make some, revise it a little bit.
Right.
So I think certain people get on these dating sites and they don't make change. They don't if it's not hitting, you know what I mean? You got to revamp, you got to revise it.
So what we're saying is whatever you do, you got to work at it. If you the holla, you got to work on the holla.
Absolutely.
If you the dating dude, if you the computer disputing, you got to get the computer disputing. You know what I mean? You got to work at it. Anything you want, you have to work at it.
And you got to use it to your advantage, right?
Seriously.
So I think one thing I think certain people forget is this, right? Like, let's just say you're a nerdy guy, right? And you like computer science, right? Find your group, right? Don't get on there and you on your way to the computer science group, and then you see another group while you walk into that group, like, oh, this is a pretty girl group.
Yeah.
Let me just stay here. Like, keep going to computer science where you was going.
I know.
Don't get caught up and get distracted by the other stuff that's there. Go to your group, because that's where you're gonna be celebrated.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
I like that one. That's good advice, yo.
All right.
It's the Uncle Pod, yo.
Yeah.
We the uncles, yo. We the elders.
All right. So number 2 is hookup culture. Some feel pressured to participate in casual hookups rather than pursue meaningful relationships, which can lead to confusion and dissatisfaction.
I don't like the word pressure. You know what you was doing. You know what you was doing. No one twisted your arm to go on and do this. You know what I mean? You got on that dating site. You don't want to go on all them dates.
Well, maybe it's pressure from, like, as a female, right? A pressure to have sex. But if like all the girls on the sites
if you got flued out
with dudes,
if a shorty got flued out, we're past pressure. You don't sold the monkey already. Like, Delta got the money already. Like that shit is for sale. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
why you gotta make it like that, though?
Yo, if you got flued out, you owe that nigga some box.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, let's stop playing the game. That game, you're playing. You're playing the escort prostitute.
No. Let's not. Wait, don't go that far. Don't go that far, because I think some women feel like he really likes me, so he flew me out. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Like, you don't have to. It's like, I don't have to say flew. He flew you out, right? And he digs me. Yeah, he might want to sleep with me, but he might want to sleep with me and still want to wife me, right? And or he may have flown me out. He wants to sleep with me, but if I don't sleep with him, we could try to still move forward to having a real relationship.
If you don't sleep with him, you
it might be a chick being naive, but
don't play games. Stay in your lane. That's okay. Where I answer my own question. That's where the pressure comes from. Stay in your lane. If you're a good girl, be a good girl. Stay a good girl. You're not gonna have no pressure.
So you think the pressure is from the dude that wants to?
The pressure is if a nigga taking you shopping. If a man is spending money. We all saw Pretty Woman. I don't think we need a remake. We need a remake of that. I think this generation needs to see Pretty Woman again. If a nigga's paying, yo, come on now. Like, let's stop playing the game. Like, men aren't spending money on women that they aren't having sex with. Women that take money for sex are.
I would agree. I would agree. But let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Women tend to have that lottery concept in their head. You only have to have one, right? You only have to have that one chick that got flown out, got hit off, got all the best of the best, and she didn't have to give up nothing, right? If they see one like that, they feel like they could be that next one.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna go by the general numbers. Like, all right, well, 75% of women that get flown out, they have sex with the guy. Now they're gonna be like, well, or it might be higher. Yeah, let's say it's 95% in it. Or it's that 18%. Oh, really? All right, I'm gonna be in that 18%. I don't have to give it up.
All right, good luck. Have some money.
Some blame. You can't just blame the females.
You don't have to give it up.
You can't just blame the females.
You don't have to give it up.
You don't.
You don't have to give it. You never have to do anything that you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
But be ready to pay for the rest of your trip in your ride home.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Like, we just gonna keep it a buck. It's the Uncle Pod. We just telling y'all how it is. Like, the hookup culture. Women are playing with a stacked deck. It's not a flex for women to have sex. It's not a flex. Like, dudes is hollering at everything. Dudes, it's not a flex. Like, it's low hanging fruit for women to be hoes. Like, that's why we used to call them that because, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stop. And we're not built the same. I know y'all want to think that y'all could turn it off. I know that y'all think that it's just transactional. It could just happen. But trust me, that shit sit with y'all. Trust me. It sit with women and it changes women. You know, it changes them.
I don't think in all scenarios though, it's a chick getting the most out of a dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a good portion of this generation of young men and young women that they have a lot more casual sex, right?
Yeah.
And something I said on another show is that women, they create the rules of the game and men just try to play within the rules of that game.
Right.
So I think the only thing that's changed, well, the men have to adjust to what's going on, but the women have changed, right? Women, I still think there's still a large group of women that want to be in relationships and want to be married, right? But the only difference is this, that in the interim of finding a relationship or a marriage, women weren't having a lot of casual sex, right? I think in this day and age, you'll have, and I'm not blaming women, but they give access to sex, right? So that's why I'm speaking about them.
Yeah.
So in the interim,
we're gonna talk about the dudes first. I mean, later too, though. But
yeah. But like while they're out and about, they meet a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They meet a guy. They like, oh, this dude, not boyfriend material, not husband material, but I could sleep with him. All right, cool. I sleep with you, but I don't really want to be with you like that. And that was the difference. Like there was shame in that back in the day. Yeah. Women knew, like, yo, they weren't just popping off just to pop off. You know what I mean?
So you don't think it was happening and just like kept a little bit more closer to the
I think
vest?
I think it was happening like chicks in college, right?
Okay.
Like all chicks in college or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know, that time. You know what I mean? Where they having a time of their life. Mm-hmm. But I think in this day and age, you got a lot of people that just, I don't really, and I'm speaking about women. Mm-hmm. I don't really like this thing like that, but yeah, I'll sleep with them. I let them hit, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so I slept with you. I'm moving on. Yeah. Meet the next guy. Yeah, you cool. I don't think boyfriend or whatever, or husband or whatever, but yeah, I'll sleep with you, right? Whereas before, women were sleeping with the guys that they wanted to be in relationship with or move forward with. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's it's the same. I think it's more like a college girl's mentality. Like they having a good time.
Just having a good time. Everybody gets running around having a good time. And you know me, let's go to the guys a little bit. I always, I don't blame the fellas, but the fellas is always in control. Fellas.
Control of what, though?
Of the market. I feel like the fellas, the young men now, they're on the hoes dick too much. Like you riding these hoes too much. Y'all liking too much on social media. Y'all are subscribing too much to the OnlyFans. Y'all are creating this market. Like the demand.
You mean the demand for
hoes,
the hoes is making the chicks supply. to want to be hoes.
Now it's culture.
Okay.
So, because I'm seeing Instagram pages now where it's like girls are just getting followers and likes for showing their ass and for twerking and doing all types of stuff. And it's like, when the proof's in the pudding, when you could get direct, when you could see the results overnight from behaving a certain way, it's right there. I feel like, guys are causing this too much. It's the same conversation we had with the BBLs. I feel like dudes are saying that they don't want women with BBLs, but I don't think they're showing it.
No.
Because I feel like the chicks with the BBLs are getting chose and they're winning. You know what I mean? If they bad built, they go pay, $8,000, go down to Miami or DR, they getting chosen the next season. You know what I mean? Once they heal up. Need that, you know.